everybody. Sean from KappisCards back with you here tonight. And got something a little different here. So we're going to do another one of these live streams as I am going to sort some cards, but we'll also do some retail rips and things like that like I normally do here on the channel. I've got my computer here. I've got the chat screen up. If you want to, say hello or anything like that, please feel free to do so. And show you what I got here. So this, if I can lift it, let's just do this. This is a Facebook Marketplace find here in my hometown. Now, usually don't find a lot on Facebook Marketplace, so I was kind of happy to come across a whole bunch of modern stuff here in these boxes. You can see a bunch of chrome sitting on the top from 18, 17. Of course, I picked one that's not doesn't have stats on it. 17 chrome. So we'll take a look at that and whatever else might be in here. This looks like some archives, some Bowman sitting here on top. So we'll check that out. And I got a whole bunch of other things to rip. And I got some Gypsy Queen that was from another one part of this Facebook Marketplace find to go through and sort as well when we get to that point. So we'll see what's in these mystery boxes here. And I've already sorted a good piece of all of that. That had a bunch of, like archives and stuff like that from 2016, 17, and 18, and some other Gypsy Queen and stuff like that. What's going on there, Jamie? So we'll see how this turns out. Had a lot of stars, had a lot of other stuff, but why don't we get started with one of these just blasters to start here. Grabbed one of these Chronicles blasters from 2022 that was on clearance, so let's see what's in here. And I got something that I've also never opened before. It's Prism Draft Picks that was on clearance over there from 2022. But I grabbed this. I'm not the biggest Chronicles fan, right? Don't seem to ever hit too much in it when I've opened the other kind of packs. But at least maybe in here we find a Bobby Wood Jr. rookie, like so on the box, and C.J. Abrams rookie. But there's a lot of things you can find if you want to read the fine print. But what we will find, of course, are these blaster exclusives and stuff like that. So we'll see if we find any fun rookies, and we'll see if Cappy comes over and joins us, right? Because that's always the sign here. If Cappy comes over and starts rubbing on stuff, we know pretty much it's going to be good. So we'll open this, then we'll go through the big box. How's that sound? And we'll take a break at some point and open one of the other blaster boxes we've got and stuff like that. And I've already got a numbered card right off the start here. So 30 of 75 of Duval. We'll get to that in a sec. But Jose Siri, rookie card there from Titan. Of course, he's probably out for the year. He's injured. There's Juan Soto, back when he was a Nat, one of these clear cards. Here is Brandon Marsh rookie. The funky circle design. And this Camilo Duval for the Giants. 30 of 75. The light hits it there. Camilo Duval. So a good start to the way this stuff is going. When I went through the other things, right, of course, Gypsy Queen and stuff like that, you could tell the guy had picked out some stuff, obviously, right? So I don't think I missed any of the, randomness, but there were a couple like name flips and stuff like that, but nothing like overly significant. How about a Torkelson rookie out of Zenith, right? He's having a nice bounce back year this year, a nice Prism too. So a nice Torkelson rookie there. Of course, you get a nice looking card, but it's the pedophile. Connor Siebold and C.J. Abrams rookie, like we just saw on the box there. So just set it all here. I'm going to sort it all anyway eventually. Unless we find something that's really random that goes into my, PC or something that's huge. What's up, Boom Slang? How you doing? I know you from over there on the Past is Alive world, all right? Shane Boz, rookie. Stephen Kwan, Charlie Morton, and Riley Adams. Two more. This one's thick. Let's set that down. I don't know what thick means in Chronicles from 2022, so we'll save that for last. It's probably just like a spacer or something. Bowman, Mike Bowman, Bowman, whatever. Ronald Acuna, America's Pastime. This, I'm thinking is going to be a cool-looking card. It's a relic. That's a neat relic. Ronald Acuna. Little napkin, right? But still, America's Pastime. It's not numbered. Wish it was, but that's still a cool-looking card. I like that, even though it's a Brave. I like that. Let's put that down there with Torkelson, Shane Boz again, and O'Neal Cruz rookie. So Not a bad little box here to start for 12 bucks. It's about, when you break down what I paid for each one of these boxes that I've already, gone through and stuff like that, that I'll be sorting and everything. That's about what I paid for this big box too, is 12 bucks. So how about this to start here too? We get Ohtani and Mike Trout in some various designs. Nice little like spades and stuff on there. Crusade for Ohtani. Zach Gallen in Spectra. And I guess that was the thick card. Unfortunately, it's the pedophile again in Crusade. So we'll leave that there. But hey, a pretty neat, Doval there to 75. Pretty neat Acuna to start. Let's slide these over here so we get a little space and keep them on camera the best we can as I try to lift this thing. Ugh. It's a big freaking box. So lots of different stuff hopefully in here. And come on, Cappy. Psst, psst, psst. Cappy's mad at me. You wanna know why Cappy's mad at me? I went and played golf today, right? And at the golf course, there was a cat. They had a cat in the clubhouse. So he knows I was cheating on him. I was petting the other cat. So, oh man, Segura, Sano, Altuve. So these are nice Chrome cards, right? They seem to, that was the one thing too about this Facebook Marketplace find that I got. I mean, they were, like I got 8 or 9 boxes. Got some football. We'll do that probably maybe later this week if I go live again. But, randomly I'll find Mets that I don't think I have, like that Conforto card that I'm looking for. And, they've all been in good shape. I think I've thrown out maybe 2 cards that had corner damage and stuff like that. So this is all fodder, right, to go into my Etsy packs. And the guy said he had more. So hopefully if this works out and, I get everything I want here, and I've got another hookup that I was going to meet up with here later this week. Probably get some more football from him. Maybe get a little more baseball, though I don't know. I'm pretty well hooked up here for baseball. If you could see how ugly this room is right now, especially for a neat freak like me. I mean, I got stuff a little bit more spread out than I ever really like in this kind of room. But, for roughly 10 or 11 bucks that I'm going to flip around and, put them into packs that I use to make sure there's stars to go with the random junk wax and stuff that I will mix in. I mean, even if there is, and there has been, as we've flipped through this, right, some repetitiveness, they'll still get spread through the packs. I don't put doubles in the same pack. So I'm not Fairfield making the Walgreens boxes, right, where you get doubles of Sage and junk like that in them. Bryce Harper has been there a few times. Beltran, Eaton, Zimmerman. Boy, my Mets made them. It was a very interesting series there in D.C., right? They found some ways to light some fire in their bullpen, even today, right? They're up at that point, 15-0 or something like that. And they still found a way to give up 5 runs before, Ahmed Rosario was throwing lollipops in the 9th inning. I mean, literally, that ball was probably going 30 miles an hour coming in. So a little bit of repetitiveness, but hey, that's fine. Because we're getting a lot of stars in here. Votto, Altuve, Correa, Quintana, and Votto again, Fulmer, Sale, Sano, Arenado. So lots of good stuff in here. I want to get down to where there's some other cards though. Something different. Looks like some Gypsy Queen down in there too. This is definitely archives, so that's going to at least be different. When we get into that, Mookie Betts there. Betts was still a Red Sox, I guess, back then. Davis, that would have been coming off 17, right? That would have been coming off the Cubs World Series. Molina, Correa again, Scherzer. At least these look chrome to me, unlike those things that I found in that Heritage box, right, that I was complaining about last time. They're chrome, but they're not, at least in my mind. Chrome means silver. But what do I know, right? Hope everybody's staying safe out there, too. I know there's a lot of storms and stuff like that out there in the upper Midwest, so hopefully if you're watching me from that, you're watching me from a safe spot. Hopefully you're not in Spain. Or if you are, you've got, power again to watch this. What a freaky thing that was today. Arenado again. Yeah, so let's... Anybody new? Yadi Molina, I don't think we've seen yet. Buster Posey again. Cano blowing a bubble. Cool. So, all right, let's get into the archives here so we get some differences. And then maybe we'll pop another blaster over here. All right. So this is 18 archives. Did they... Oh, here we go. So this is the 81 design. Echeverria. Scope. What year is this design? Somebody watching, remember what year this design is? Oh, I am no good when it comes to like really older stuff like that. What it's supposed to be. Xander Bogaerts, Gordon, Giolito, Bryce Harper. Hmm. 59. Thank you. Something here is sleeved. It's Tomei, Sandy Koufax. Wish that was real. Machado, Odorizzi, Phil Rizzuto, Winfield, Ralphie Kiner, Wade Boggs. I was just redoing the Simpsons thing with somebody earlier today. We were arguing in text between Lord Palmerston and Pitt the Elder. That's whenever I think of Wade Boggs, that's what I always think of is the Simpsons episode with the baseball team, right? So that's a Raffy Devers rookie card. Coming attractions. That's a nice find. I know Devers has he come off the slow start that he had for the year? I haven't paid too close of attention, but pretty good reason that one was penny sleeved. Nice little find. We'll set that somewhere here. Put that with Torkelson. Because eventually I'm going to start sorting these, right? I just wanted to flip through them, show you what I got so far here. Because the sorting process will take a while. Hank Aaron. What I normally do is spread everything out, right? And, do it by teams. That is Mike Piazza, Turn Back the Clock. Rookie of the Year. Bregman. Larry Doby. Garcia Parra. The late Ricky Henderson. Brooks Robinson. He passed away not too long ago, too. Jake Lamb. Inciarte. So this is around the time I was just starting to get back into the hobby. 18. After being out of it for so long. What is this? Gotham Goliath. Stanton and Judge. Kluber. Benintendi. Hal Newhouser. Barry Larkin. Larkin's involved with that Orlando bid. They ought to just get the Rays and move over there. I'm standing on that. Sorry, Rays fans, if you're adamant on Tampa. But there's a Conforto for the PC. Set that over here. Haven't found a lot of Mets other than Conforto, have we? Coatsart, Dodgers there, PR, Doby, Garcia Parra, Ozzie Smith, Ortiz, Corbin, and Moncada. It was Ortiz in a Twins uniform. Yeah, it was. Going back to when he first broke in. Let's do one more pile here, and then I'll probably just pick some of this chrome out of the way, and we'll see what's underneath briefly. And then we'll crack another blaster. Altuve, Correa, and Bregman, the Space City standouts. Murphy, and Beckham, Pops, Trout. Got a lot of Mike Trouts in this. I like that. I always like having Trout and Ohtani to mix into the packs, along with Yelich, Bernie Williams, Mayhew, Reggie Benny Jackson, Zimmerman, Burt Blyleven. I know it's a 59 design, like you said, but, it feels like Blyleven could have had a card in 59 for as long as he played. Abreu at the end. All right, so let's get this chrome out of the way here, because we all know what that looks like already. It's all the same chrome. Speaking of Ohtani and Trout, there we go. Halo's Heroes, Trout and Ohtani. Fergie Jenkins, whose autograph we pulled a couple videos back. Posey, Piazza for me. There we go. Greinke, Schebler, Thames, Franco, Wagner, Davis, another Conforto, and the other Davis. These are the only Bowmans that are sitting here just randomly. G-Man Choi and Dane Phillips. Just randomly sitting here. All right, let's some more Gypsy Queen. What's over here? We got some Bowman. Let's look at this. I'm going to split it like this. What year is this Bowman? 18 Bowman. Jones, Hatch. Like Soroka has had a little bit of a career. Justice Sheffield, I know, is supposed to be a big prospect, and so was Joe Adell. Hasn't quite panned out. Banda, Zach Granite. And Reese Hoskins, rookie. It's not horrible. Mejia, Stevenson, Max Fried, rookie. Not doing too bad there. Robles, Calhoun, Sims, Dom Smith. Did he land anywhere? Ozzy Albies, rookie. Nice rookies in this. There's Rosario. Like I said, he pitched a little earlier today. J.D. Davis, rookie. How about Alcantara's rookie? That's definitely the best, in my opinion, that we've seen here. Cy Young winner. I'm going to set that over here with Devers. Maley, Devers again. A couple of Devers rookies in this. McMahon, Williams, Stevens, Frazier, Cooper, Dom Smith again, Crawford, Sims, Calhoun. So we're getting some doubles, as you would imagine. Davis, Austin Hayes, Fetty, Bridwell, Devers again. How many Devers rookies are we going to find? I know his value's down a little bit, but there's Walker Buehler's rookie. Rosario again. Hayes, Fetty. Ain't gonna complain about any of that. There'll be nice cards to mix in. I like as Hoskins again. I like to have stuff like this as, you know, chase cards, right? You know, of nice, you know, star players, right? To go through and find. Allard. Whatever happened to Scott Kingery? I know they signed him to that big contract and he just kind of disappeared. Garrett, O'Neill, Cappy, where you going, buddy? Let's see what he's going to do on my desk. Allen, Guzman, Hunter Harvey, Peters, Corbin Burns. Not a rookie, just Corbin Burns. That guy, Rogers, Michael Kopech. I know, buddy. Come here. Over here. Hopefully you can hear him meowing across the room. Doesn't sound like I'm just talking to myself that way. Hey, Cappy, how much did you get for this box for? So I got 8 boxes like this for $100. So this would have been about $12 for this box, roughly, right? 100 divided by 8 is about that. Something, top of my head. So, like I said, a lot of it had this in it. Right, there was a box of this. There was a box of Heritage. You know, 3 different boxes of Heritage years. Yeah, pretty nice deal, right? I mean, you know, not only to have these rookies in it. There's another Max Fried rookie, Flaherty, another Alcantara rookie. I keep wanting to call him Alcantara. Right, I don't want to say it the whole way out, but it's Alcantara. Nito. And having these rookies in it's nice, but I always like to make sure the packs have variety, right? And these are things like even this 18 Bowman. I don't get a lot of 18 Bowman. It's not the Devers. I don't get a lot of 18 Bowman as I'm going through things. But I definitely don't get when I buy like mixed boxes and stuff of modern things. It's always just Topps flagship, right? Usually. That was like a Cantra again. But how many of those have I pulled of each? 3 or 4? Bueller again. Pache. Yeah, I mean, I'll get some Gypsy Queen. I'll get some Heritage, some, or, you know, here and there. But not to this quantity. So it's nice to have something different. This is, I believe, 817 Gypsy Queen. Kershaw. And like I said, I always like to have some stars in each pack, like Bumgarner there, so Lindor. So Alex Gordon, Seager, Snell. Suarez had 4 home runs the other day and lost, right? Davis, Brandon Belt. Yeah, so I mean, it's lots of good. It's not just, you know, the who's of who and all this. Felix Hernandez, Chris Bryant, Kutch, Cologne. It's always good to have Big Sexy. Ramos, and that's Bird there on the back. Let's pop open a blaster here. Let's do Heritage again. So regular old Heritage here from this year. The last video that I put out, and you can see here on the channel, I opened this and I got a short print that I did throw up on eBay. It's, I think, got about a day left on it there. Of an A's player whose name is slipping my mind right now for whatever reason. But didn't get much else beyond that. So let's see what we get. All the value I keep finding in these things have been in the other one that I've got over there. It's Heritage High Number from last year. We'll check that out in a little bit. So nice empty box. The other thing, too, if you just wandered in here, you don't know who I am, stuff like that. Not only do I do a lot of random retail rips like I just am doing right now, but I also sell cards on Etsy and eBay and stuff like that. But I make team packs for Etsy out of all these. So 30 cards in each pack, and, you know, you get star players and sometimes parallels like a Corey Seager in green. But, you know, it's a good way to get into the hobby and stuff like that. It's a good way if you got friends or kids or something like that, just to introduce them at a low price, right? Max Fried there, we just pulled several of his rookies. There's Torkelson. Had him in the, like, chromium or something like that last time. It was the silver chrome. Kikuchi, Cronenworth, Burke, and Berger, who we had in the Sparkle last time around, right? So any high numbers? Negative. Oh, wait a minute. This was a high number. The green is a high number. Corey Seager. So I've got nowhere to set things down right now that's special other than right over here. You can still kind of see it, I guess, on the side. Where I've been putting these other things. I guess I can get this stuff out of the way here. Put it with the other chrome back here. My pile of rookies there. All right, let's see what we get here. Matsui. The leaders with Ellie De La Cruz this time. That's one of the leaders cards I didn't get last time. It seemed like I got all of them, but I did not get an Ellie De La Cruz stolen base leaders one. So there's that. Strom, Clemens. So Cody Clemens and Roger Clemens, father and son. There we got Cody Clemens autograph not too long ago on the channel. Yoshida, here's the chrome, right, that I called plastic. And I keep putting these down, not checking for high numbers, but Brooks Baldwin here in the chrome design. Just set that back with the other chrome I got. Robles and Lopez. And I doubt any of these are going to be high numbers when you've got the chrome in it. So, no. Yeah, just driving around with it. Like, so when I play golf like I did today, I will hit up some other local, you know, retail establishments. That's where I got all of this stuff today. Just to see what else we can find. Rooker, of course, off to a decent start. There's Jackson Holiday. We got a backwards Aaron Judge. Did I get a short print Aaron Judge? I can't read what that says. It might say image on it, though. Well, now, if we did, let's set this down. That is an image variant when we flip it over of Aaron Judge. Might need to grab a little penny sleeve for this real quick. Top, and then we get Skeens Chrome behind him. Look. Well, this is definitely better than the other boxes I opened. Let me go grab 2 penny sleeves real quick. That's Morel and Simeon, right? So, you know. And that Simeon's actually, well, it's 400's not a high number, right? It's 401's where it starts. Let me grab 2 penny sleeves real quick. I want to top load them, too. There's a couple penny sleeves with stickers on them. Yoink. Just gonna leave penny sleeve right there for right now until we find, or unless Cappy comes over, then I'll top load him before he gets into them. But Aaron Judge image variant. I imagine that one's probably got a little decent pull to it. And we get Zach Nito this time in the Sparkle. Pink Sparkle Zach Nito. Okay. Looks like you're ready for the club with that card. Yamamoto behind him. Hicks, Rogers, Bregman, McCutcheon. Got an Austin Wells 25th anniversary card. Hey, that's pretty cool. It's a foil 25th anniversary card of Austin Wells. I'm guessing that's just a insert set of some kind. That's still pretty cool. I better sleeve that one up too. Dunn and McGill. These ones I'm sleeving, I'm thinking will probably be eBay cards, right? Whenever I get through stuff here. Nothing there was high number or anything like that. Good thing I came not quite prepared, didn't I? Oh, man. Anybody know what's going on in Canada right now? Is that they've decided the election up there? Willie Mays, Duke Ellis, Heaney, Schwarber, Sogard, Walker, Burleson, and Turner. Walker is a short print. 450, well, not short print, high number. So Jordan Walker, I'll set that over here. Always like Willie Mays cards, even if they're modern. Let's see what else we get here. Ooh, this is a hell of a box. Ellie De La Cruz in the Sparkle Sparkle. Let's set that down for a second here. Mountcastle, Young. There's something else in this pack, too. Kierstad. Yeah, I ain't pronouncing that. Suarez, Sonny Gray in the, what I would call chrome, that they have another name for. Nice little refractor kind of there. Carpenter and Phillips. I'm going to set that back here. And I put these down again. I just do this out of habit, right? Without flipping these over and making sure. There we go. Okay. And I might have missed. Who knows, right? Yeah, because these heritage things, they load it up with so many different randomness of, they'll put Reds at the bottom, or instead of Reds, they'll put Cincinnati, or, just random things that they'll do to it. And I can never find the damn Santa things in the holiday, so I'm going to miss the random things they do on here. Kyle Tucker, Blanco, Chapman. How about Aaron Judge, Ramirez, and Rooker in the RBI leaders? Happ, Locklear, Ruiz, and Guerrero. Locklear, not Heather Locklear, but Tyler Locklear. Rookie card is the high number. Heather Locklear, for those of us that are of an older age, right, that are out there. Hey, Cappy, what's up there, White Sox? White Sox, we've got some of your cards in here. Leone here in the green. Jared Jones, a couple of record breakers cards. First we got Aaron Judge, and then Jackson Churio behind him. Nothing to sneeze at. Tyler O'Neill for the Birds. Pages. Got a Mike Trout insert card. We're going to look at that in a minute. And then Gentry and Kim. So these are not going to be high numbers with the insert there. But nice Mike Trout insert, which seems to be the thing in these, right? Complete batting record. So 76 R-15. Mike Trout. One more sleeve. What do we think, huh? That box. I know I got, like I said in the last video, I got the short print for the 1A's rookie, but that box blows away the other two boxes. I mean, it's not even close. So neither was the Meyer that I bought it at. But either way, right? I don't know what Skeens would draw in that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe it's, what I'm getting. But I bet that Aaron Judge has some value to it in the short print. So what do we got here? We got a different year of chrome that I just grabbed out of the box. This is 16, right? It's 18. Wrong way, Sean. Beltre, Gonzalez, Mookie Betts. Any more stars? Going to Abreu, Jay Bruce, Lindor. See, it's the problem, too, with the Etsy stuff, right? As I'm going through these and I always pull, like, Indians cards like this. I can't put that on the front of a pack because of Chief Wahoo on his sleeve there. Right, even though it's, I look at it, I see Cleveland like, hey, you know what I mean? And it says Indians, so they would flag me for that too. Hate speech, as they call it. But that's the price of dealing on Etsy, right? That's the kind of beliefs you're dealing with, I guess. Beltre, Betts. Of course, there's the one time on Etsy. Somebody's, a scammer bought some cards for me, right, and was trying to DeGrom for my PC. was definitely trying anything he could to get money back from me. Claimed that I printed the cards myself, and Etsy wanted me to prove that I didn't. Like I have like a mass printing lab here or something like that. Like you've got to be kidding me, right? At that point, I was like, if I'm going to be dealing with this kind of stupidity, I finally broke down and gave the idiot his money back. But you know, I mean, they were like, this player's in a college uniform, and you said it was all pro, it was, cards for whatever team, right? The Redskins or whatever, something like that, right? Oh man, that kind of anger. Like, yeah, Score has players in college uniforms on cards. They were drafted, right? And then they went to the whole, oh, you made them yourself. You printed this and it's fake and blah, No, I did not print a whole bunch of cards. I wouldn't even know where to start. Let's see. What can we find in here? Something different? Anything different? Oh, there's some different. Oh, some 22 tops just randomly in here. So we've definitely seen our share of this. Doubt we're going to find image variants or anything like that, but you never know. Conforto on bait, I probably have that, but I'm going to set it down anyway. With as much 22 tops as I've touched in the last 3 years. So just going to go through this quick. I was wondering if I should get another box of Modern Baseball from my other supplier here later this week, but man, I don't think I need it. I think once I get these sorted, it's going to be time to make packs. So the handful of teams that are out of stock is where I'll start, and we'll go from there. Let's get this chrome out of the way. So more of that 17 chrome. Here's the 18 again, right here off the top. One thing I will do when I sort too is I always do the chrome last, right? Since it all slides around everywhere. And it's all curled, right? So you can't, stack things on top of it. Let's see here. Cappy, you were just across the room staring at me. Right? See him there? Just will not come over. Do I have that Pete Alonso? That's got to be probably the first card that calls him Pete Alonso rather than Peter Alonso, right? As the earlier Bowmans did. Burns again. Eloy Jimenez, who we pull every break. Ruiz, Jackson. Start another pile here, over here. Lewis. Jimenez, first Bowman. How's he doing up in Toronto? Paredes. Acevedo, Luzardo. Who is Marcos Molina? No idea who that is. Dunning, Keyboom. No offense if you are a Marcos Molina person. Tatis. Probably like a second, third Bowman card of his. Shedlong, Randolph. Justin Dunn. There's Gleyber Torres. Chang. Keller. Juan Soto. Probably, again, second-ish year Juan Soto. Yeah, Hunter Harvey, Heasley, there's Nito. So we're back to the rookies again. That's Flaherty's rookie. I didn't realize that when we went through before. Hoskins again. Verdugo. Another Raffy Devers. Another Alcantara. Another Max Fried. Chance Cisco. Andujar, rookie. Oops, and I threw him. Ozzy Albies again. Bader. And whoever Bridwell is. Let's open something different here. This is something I've never opened on the channel before. This is Prism draft picks from 2022. And I got it off the clearance rack, right? We are guaranteed an auto. Well, find an auto on average. All right, so maybe we're not guaranteed it. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And I don't know who Jacob Berry is, but there he is. Brooks Lee and Jacob Berry. So the one thing I will do with these, right, with these college cards, like I was saying, I will mix them in with whatever team drafted them if they played Major League Baseball. Of course, these will all be college uniform cards. But if they played Major League or if they're in the minors for a team or something like that, those will be where I put them. Right, so whatever auto I pull out of here, unless it's we actually recognize the person and it's somebody big, then that's where it'll wind up. And maybe I'll bring Cappy over here in a minute. And he can hang out with us since he wants to be shy tonight. Michael Knorr of the Chanticleers. Boston College's Luke Gold. This is Drake Baldwin of Missouri State in a like dark background. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Justin Campbell in a pink, square design, whatever that is. And Gonzaga's Tristan Vierling, Thunderstruck. 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 Let's see what we get in here. Blade Tidwell I've at least heard of. Right? And now he was for Tennessee, at least in that. Nick Hall. Dalton Rogers. Here is Riley Cornelio. So we're going Horlio here, right, for TCU. And Prismatic Gabriel Rincones for FAU. Not numbered or anything. Yeah, no, I try to avoid buying these sorts of things, just like I avoid, the Sage stuff and the wild card stuff for this kind of reason, right? Because I'll have to go back through and look them up, right, unless I know them. And I haven't known but one yet. Collier, Van Scooter. Here's our auto. Jackson Ferris out of high school. Jackson Ferris. Actually not a bad little auto, right? F and then a line, but still cool. It is numbered. 36 and 99. Jackson Ferris. Anybody heard of him? Know what team he's on? Is out there watching? Doesn't say who was drafted by or anything like that. Apparently he had a good fastball. But Jackson Ferris. Put that over here where we can still kind of see it, right? Yeah. Taylor and Hughes. 3 more packs of this, then we'll scoot through the box, and then, you know what? Let's see if there's anything else in the box. Maybe we'll start sorting a little bit. I'll get Cappy while we do that. Walter Ford out of high school. Tirantos. Stewart in the brown, black, whatever that is, design. Patterson, and Wallace. And let's see here. We've got, Brooks Lee again. J.P. Massey, Jimmy Crooks, Mikey Romero, and Dylan Beavers. Beavers playing for the Bears. Mizorowski for Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Zach Maxwell for Georgia Tech or the Georgia Institute of Technology. Troy Melton, San Diego State. TJ Brock for the Ohio State University. And another Thunderstruck, and it's Jacob Miller from high school. Jacob Miller. Let's see what we got. Let me go get Cappy. Let's go get Cappy over here. And, we do got some different stuff here, so we'll do that next. So, tease you right there. I'll be right back. Come here, buddy. Yeah? Come on. You want to be on camera. Yeah, you do. All right. Here's the star of the show. Here's why everybody came. All right, not for me. You didn't come to see the cards. All right, you came to see the big boy. All right, you like those, Cap? You blessing them now? Some of this 18 heritage here. So let's get him. Let's get the cards here with Cappy in the background. All right, Clevenger, Leaders, Davies, Pineda, Ryan Braun, Buster Posey. This is regular, but this stuff here, what's this? We got little bit of Diamond Kings here, and there's more of that Bowman. Let's look at the Diamond Kings real quick. Mantle. Here is Molina. Tony Gwynn Portraits. That's a nice card. Cappy, people saying hello to you. You want to say hi? Joe Morgan. Bregman, Gallery of Stars. Was that Cabrera? Ortiz in the 500. Reggie Jackson. Chris Bryant Trophy Club. Past and Present. That's a nice card. Ruth and Judge. I like having different stuff like that. Bath time again, huh, buddy? Every time he comes on camera. Harrison Bader's rookie this time. It's Devers again. How many of these have I pulled? Jeez. Walker Buehler again. These packs are going to be loaded. I was like, Alcantara again. Alcantara again. There's Flaherty again, right? Rosario, J.D. Davis, Verdugo, McMahon, Clint Frazier, Hayes, Walker Buehler. This guy didn't like his Bowman. I'll pull a Gypsy Queen pile here. Let's look at this. You gonna sit, buddy? No, he's going for the full lick. Oh, buddy, you know you wanted to be on camera just to do that. Chris Davis, Markakis, Ryan Braun again. Oops, who I dropped. Let's turn this over here. The Blue Jays, Aravado, Calhoun, Molina. Cappy, you're rubbing the box. You should be rubbing the Heritage box to tell us there's good stuff in there. Brandon Belt, Tanaka, Cabrera, Nola. Syndergaard I pulled already out of this. Garrett Cole, Pirates. Sonny Gray, Beltre, Hall of Famer. Mancini. And Vargas. All right, buddy, what do you think? Is this a good box? It is? No? You don't like that one? All right, let's see what it is. He must not like it. He's walking away. He's going back in the card boxes. You gonna hide behind me now? Right. Yeah? It's okay, buddy. You're the boss. You can watch. He is the boss around here. I mean, if he's sleeping on my side of the bed and I go to move him, he lets me know. He's the boss. All right, Heritage High number, which is still, that's some Walgreens around me. Maybe it might be at a Walgreens around you. I did stop at one Walgreens today that had nothing. So you never know with those. But Heritage High number. And these packs are still a pain in the you-know-what to open cleanly. All right. Gavin Sheets. Hayes. Rookies. Priester. Pages. Rengifo. Bowers. Clase. And De Jong. And we're looking for what? 700 plus, right? Pages. What's up, Penny Sleeve? What we got here? These packs. So, hey, the last time we opened these on a live stream was a hot box. We don't get that this time. Let's hope we find something else nice. Although that, can't complain about that other Heritage box. Rookies, Martinez, McCann, Lee. Hedges, is that a green? Yeah. Hedges is our green here. Pepio, Thomas, more rookies, and Rogers. Nothing of the high number variety there. Just that other one over here. Cappy, you want to come back on this side? All right. Gibson Long, Verlander, Soriano, Martinez, the Brewers, rookie pitchers, Astros, McCormick, Wong, and Manaya. Nothing of the high number variety. Pardon me. Campbell, Matsui, Jones, Ray, Brujan is our green this time, and he's a high number. So Brujan, Lipscomb, Duran, Sewald, and Hopkins. Cappy, now I see why you walked away from this box. This might be our weakest Heritage High Number box we've opened. So we balanced it out with the other one we opened earlier. Barossa, Kopech, rookies, Biggio, Blake Snell in the don't call it white, it's aqua border, even though everything says white here on the back. Duvall, Eden, Imanaga rookie with Merrill behind him. It's two nice rookies there to end that pack. What are you doing, buddy? You gonna chew the pack that fell on the floor? Yes, you are. Cappy loves paper and he loves plastic. Don't ask me why. All right, come on. All right. Camargo, Diaz, Jeffers, Lewis, Hader in the green. Story, Houck, Scott, and Fott. Of course, Fott, we've found the out of 10 out of the Easter egg not too long ago. Oops, that pack exploded. So this is more closer to normal, right, as I'm doing the card sorting. He's sitting down here. He'll either sit over here or sit right here by my feet. And usually his bed is right here as well, but I've got so many cards backed up I had to move his bed. So he's probably a little mad about that, too. Caballero. There's Paul Skeens. Rookie. So we'll put that with the other Skeens up here. Cubbies call-ups. Pete Crow Armstrong and Canario. Martini, Nastrini, Rosarena, and more rookies. Got a lot of these random rookie ones, didn't we? And we got 3 of the big rookies, right? With Imanaga and Skeens and Merrill. We need Churio, right? All right. No hits this box. No relics or anything like that. I think this is the 6th box I've opened of these, right? It's about that, right? And I got relics out of 4 of them, right? So Doyle, Chisholm, the last one had a relic out of 99, right? Hand numbered. Rodriguez, Jack Leiter in the green. Got an extra green card. Ooh, I almost missed it. Tristan Gray, auto. On card in the blue. Not numbered. Tristan Gray of the Marlins. So instead of a relic, I think we got an auto last time. We had a Dodger rookie auto that, can't remember his name, Dakota something. But Tristan Gray. So 2 autos here. Flaherty, more rookies, and Lopez. Yeah, we got that guy out of Prism, right, from high school, and we get this. Yeah. Couple of autos, couple things. Lots of nice stuff to mix in the packs. Anything else randomly in here that we haven't seen already? Otherwise, Cappy there's a Mike Trout and Mickey Mantle out of Diamond Kings. Just at 17 Diamond Kings? 18. We've seen this. This is that Heritage from 18. Right, the circle top one. We've seen a bunch of these already. Anything else we haven't seen? What's this pile? No, that's more of it. This is all Gypsy Queen here. This is more of that Bowman that we've seen over. How many more Devers rookie cards are going to be in there? I sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. More of this chrome I'm just going to set out of the way. And the rest of that looks like 22. What's underneath here? Yeah, more of this. So, we got the Topps news cards as well. So let me spread these out a little bit here. What do you usually watch or listen to? I'm sorting cards. So I do a few different things, right? I will put on, first off, if the Mets are on, I'll watch them, right? I've got a couple of TVs over here. This is my man cave, so I've got that kind of set up. Plus I've got my work computer over there that I can use as a third screen if I want to, and the laptop as a fourth. And I do that sometimes, like during March Madness and all. But and NFL Sunday, I usually have 3 to 4 games going at once. But so if those kinds of things are on that, if not, then I'm watching other channels on here, the ones that I like. I've got probably about 10 or 12 card related channels that I watch. Past is Alive, what's it, Bustin' Boxes, something like that, whatever his name is. A few others as well. Up north, I'll watch, people like that. And then I've got some, other random stuff that I watch here, just, other YouTube things that I'm into. I'm a big weather geek as well, right? My job is, a college professor. So I do emergency management research and stuff like that. So I'm a big weather nerd. And I'll watch the storm chaser guys and the weather people, Ryan Hall, y'all, or some of them I'll put on, or Max Velocity, right? It's kind of weird watching a Max Velocity because he's a college student, But either way, I think he's about to graduate. But either way, right? I'll watch that kind of stuff. Or if none of that really intrigues me, nothing looks good, let's throw a movie on, or I'll throw an old TV show or something on. Some Married with Children or The Addams Family or something like that, right? It can mix up, and sometimes you just put on whatever he wants to, which might be the birds on TV or stuff like that, and let him enjoy. Am I gonna hide down there, buddy? Let me spread these out a little bit here, give myself some space to start sorting a little bit, and I can answer any other questions, stuff like that, as we're hanging out here for a little longer. Cappy, going to continue to bathe down there? Please ignore the mess by the trash can on the floor as he's sitting there. Was not planning to show it, but of course, Cappy is Cappy, so he's going to go wherever Cappy wants to. Let me get this chrome out of the way here, because it's the most in the way. Yep, where'd you go, buddy? All right, let me get you back here where you can actually see stuff. There we go. Let me get this over here. And this is a bunch of chrome with paper on top. Smart. Oh, Cappy found his bed. Good. Yeah, it's usually why I don't do these kind of live streams, right? Whenever I'm, sorting cards and stuff like that. I wanted to give it a try, though, just to hang out. And, we had fun last time I was hanging out and doing stuff here on the channel not too long ago. But, yeah, I'm usually watching something. So if I had that on, with the sound on as I was doing this, it'd be copyright strike time. So let me pick these cards up here. Still like that Acuna relic. America's pastime. America. Put these over here as well. And all right. So when I'm making my packs, right, I want to have a variety of different things, right? So even though we've got a whole bunch of, the same kind of stuff here, obviously I've got, under the table here as well where Cappy was hiding, all the stuff I've been sorting and everything like that. That's got the things that we've seen on other videos, and junk wax stuff that I bought, or even things that aren't on camera, right? Because I don't do everything on camera. So I just spread them out. I don't use the, whatever you call the sorting boxes or sorting trays that you can buy. But I just spread them out here on this, $30, $40 card table, right, that I got at Lowe's. So plus that way I can still see everything that I'm doing over there and stuff like that. And I just spread them out by division. So the one thing, of course, I keep the Mets close to my heart, right? Because I'm that kind of sentimental moron. So we'll start with the Phillies, right? Pirates next to them. And then here's a Met right? So just spreading them out. And eventually, right, we'll have all of the teams as we go across. And you can see how I'm doing them here. Oops, let me do this just to, I always like to move the Reds and the Cardinals so they're not next to each other. Just because they're two red cards, right? You don't want to confuse them. The Rockies up here. And I haven't got to them yet. The Diamondbacks I put up top. Tigers, White Sox, Braves. You can see just how fast it will fill in, right? And just start stacking them up. I mean, it's pretty simple in this way. Oops. As long as you don't screw up the stacks. Padres, put over here. Need a little more room. Padres. Let's see, Diamondbacks. Let's see, A's, Angels, Rangers, and Mariners. So let me pull this up just a little more. You can probably see them all that way, just side to side, right? I just sit here, like I said, I watch stuff, I'll do whatever, and eventually I'll have them all done, and then I'll do the same thing with the packs as I'm making a team pack. I usually spread them out. You know, this is just maybe the anal retentiveness of me. Tops and Bowman over here, and then everything else on this side, right? That way I can find them easier as well as I'm going. And usually I have enough of a mix of cards that it'll take the whole table to, you know, or close to it in order to sort them and have them spread out like that. Because sometimes you only have one of, you know, a certain year or something like that. But either way, it's just a nice way to spread them out and spend some time. Everybody else in the house is asleep, so got to do something, right? As a night owl that I've always been, Cappy and I just hang out. Let's see, Rays, Reggie Jackson again, the Nets, Twins. Do I have a Twins pile? I do now. It's the Astros. Don't have an Astros pile. Brewers, Royals. So it usually goes faster when I don't have a phone and a, you know, tripod right here in front of me, obviously. The Cardinals I need to put up here. A's. But these are all the archives cards that we saw just a few minutes ago. I always leave room here for the expos as well as an extra, you know, just in case. Sometimes they slide in, you know, an Andre Dawson or something in these modern cards. I don't have the Dodgers yet. So, yeah. Now, Cappy wants out. So we might need to do that here soon. Cappy, let me spread out a little bit more of these, then we'll call it a video here. And like I said, I've got 3 of the boxes that I bought downstairs are football. Now, one of them is just Colts cards, right? Colts being the local team here. So we'll probably not put that one on camera unless there's something, you know, nice and big or anything like that in it. But we'll definitely do the others because there is, just like this box, right? There was a good variety in there. That's why I picked this box to do the live stream as opposed to the other ones that, you know, were all one set, right? One thing. So who are we missing here? The Marlins is the only team we're missing. The Red Sox, Braves. And, you know, as I'm going through and I do these when I'm making the packs, right? Not only do I break them out by year and stuff like that as I'm going, like when I come across players that I consider stars, right, for each team, which is a fungible term, but Blake Snell is a good example. I'll set that in a different pile, you know, aside a Blake Snell exclusive pile, right? That way I've got that, or Lindor when I'm doing the Indians, right? You know, Mookie Betts, that sort of stuff. Cardinals are up here. Still looking for when I find a Marlin. I just did. There we go. So when I get these out of my hand here, I think what I'm going to do, unless anybody's got anything else they want to talk about or any questions or anything like that, think what I'm going to do is wrap it up here. We've been here an hour now, so we'll come back later this week at some point. I'll do the same thing with a football box, right? And we'll sort football instead. I've got some football packs we can open too. Maybe I'll find some more as well. Still looking for Optic. Right? That has not been anything I've been able to find around here. Along with the Celebration, Top Celebration. I've been looking at that for a long time. And I found that retail. I know I should probably break down and go to my LCS. They'll have it, but maybe. But, you know, otherwise, we'll see. The Astros are up here. The Yankees, the Indians, and the Red Sox are right there. So let's give Cappy a little break. Let's let him, you know, get out of the room here, and we'll call it a live stream. So thanks as always for watching. We're going to do a 2,000 subscriber giveaway here soon. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. You know, like everything and all that kind of fun stuff too. And you'll see more of this boy. He's the star. Yeah, you know it. All right. You want to go? All right. We'll go. Thanks for watching. So see you next